Hi, Miss D'Andrea. I'm
Hi,
doing something new.
hello.
I am attempting to go live on YouTube. I've never
Oh,
done it before.
okay, that's cool.
Mhm.
That'd be nice. And
I'm on
then
this stuff.
I'll probably be stepping away around like 6:45. So I can tune into the Prophet's Corner at 7 tonight. Okay.
Oh yeah, I gotta get off of here myself.
Yeah.
I hear an echo. I might need to go live on another device.
Okay. So are you trying to do YouTube live now or you just something
It's
future?
on it's on YouTube live right now, and that's why I'm hearing like when we say something, it's a small delay, but I'll hear us speaking after.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Give me a second. I might just need to grab another device.
Okay.
Hey, Dr. Lewis.
Hey,
How are you? Just sending
I'm
this up.
good.
Yeah, I have us live. Not the Navy.
Love it. I
Not
love
the
it.
Navy.
Hey.
Praise him. Praise him. You look so young and gorgeous. Girl, I was talking to this lady today, and she was telling
Uh-huh.
me how old she was. And when I recognized we were the same age and I was looking 20 years her junior, I just had to hush my mouth. I couldn't even tell her my age, honey. Baby.
They don't need to know all that.
No, no, honey. We're not talking about that. I didn't want to hurt that woman's feelings.
Yes.
But I said that to say you're looking mighty young.
Thank you.
Mighty young. Okay, so I'm plugging in. So we are live on YouTube, just FYI. It's my first time doing that.
Okay.
But nonetheless, Deaconess DeAndrea, I'm gonna borrow you for a hot minute and make you co-host for just a hot minute. And
Okay.
way we can because I know you gotta run a little bit later. So if
Okay.
people come in, just let them on in. And Dr. Lewis, give me a second so I can make your prime introduction and then I can share this with the other folk.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. Hush. Sorry, girl, we got new little rats. Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Awesome. I can hear you loud and clear as well. Video is clear. Um, Let me make an announcement. Okay. And hey, Miss LaRonda, can you text Audra and let her know? Please, ma'am. Thank you. All right, I just sent out the. Okay. How
Are
have
we
you
doing like a
been?
interview or how are we gonna do it?
No, ma'am. It's your show, honey, because you know how to talk for your own self. I mean, you know me, I might pop in and have a couple of questions because I just like asking you questions. But no, typically what we like to do is give you the floor. People obviously may have some questions based off your bio that we sent out. And then we just go that way. I try my best to stay out because I know everybody. So me asking questions is so unfair.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just definitely want to make sure I let you have the floor. And so pretty much, just so you know, so with the wealth pop-up, what we've had before is people come in and share their platform. People come in
Hmm.
and sorry, my video was off. Hi. People come in and share their platform. People come in and share like any opportunities they have ongoing. Like Doug let everyone know, what he had going on in the insurance industry. Paul came in and talked about his investments in real estate. He's not a realtor, but he's an investor. Corey Reese came in and spoke about his opportunity to invest in his technology. And so with you, I just had the idea that you would, let people know, like, how do they get in the real estate game, or how do they take your training course? Hint, hint, things of that nature, stuff that you have ongoing, current issues right now, and how we can get involved and support you. And so the community is here to support you and whatever you need us to support you in. So I try to keep it free flowing. I mean, your background and your history. And then we had a lady come in and tell us how she traveled the world for like $0. Like, what? How do we do
Oh
that?
wow.
Right.
Nice.
So Dr. Joppy came in and let us know how she's been traveling. Because I noticed this woman is everywhere around the world. And I'm like, side eye. And she's like, girl, it ain't even that
Yeah.
deep. She got travel points like you. But anyway, so that's it. Um, I've sent out the wire, so a few more people will probably be joining us in a second. But what I would like to do, since we are recording, is go ahead and get your background. Instead of me reading your bio, I just can give my interactions with you over the last few years. Nothing more than professional, nothing more than graceful. I've been able to see her speak on stages and watch her do her thing, but I've also watched her support other people. We do have an event coming up that we will share the stage with Oprah Winfrey. We're excited about that. Even though it's not a public event, it is definitely something that we're proud of because we all join forces to be in a sisterhood, to share that opportunity. And the other thing is I know that Benicia has a partner, and I've gotten to meet her partner, and I really enjoy their interaction. And I see why they have that dynamic, because she's the cool. Both of them are really cool. Benicia is definitely very, very, very cool. But it was really cool to see her there as well. And then the other thing that I really appreciate is when I've dealt with her company or spoken to somebody at her company, they also represent her very well in reference to the funding and the lending side of mortgage. Definitely proud, heard her background story. And I was in tears finding out like how she got into real estate and how she heard the voice of God. That was so empowering to know that she can hear from God and things of that nature. So without further ado, Manisha, if you want to share just a little bit about your background, and then we can get into some particulars about what you have going on.
Absolutely. So, hey everyone, if you do not know who I am, and hopefully you don't, so this isn't going to be a life-changing conversation for you, but my name is Dr. Benicia Poole Watson. I am newly married, so you may see Lewis on the title on this platform, but my name is Dr. Benicia Poole, and I own a financial institution. At this point in time, I am the only African American woman to solely own a financial institution of this capacity. And what my goal was in my business was to help people get access to capital, not just a couple of dollars here and there, not just through mortgages, but to empower people through commercial real estate, residential real estate, business funding to help scale and grow their business, operational costs, et cetera, starting and growing. And as well as I'm the only African American woman financing international transactions. So I am currently financing in over 120 countries, and that includes the entire continent of Africa, the entire Caribbean, the entire Central America, South America, Europe, as well as Asia and many other parts of the world, Middle East. And so the goal for me is to not only represent in a capacity that shows others that you can, but also do the job and make a difference and change the trajectory of where we are as far as wealth building and growing our financial intelligence as well as stability and foundation in this world. As you all know, the economic climate is crazy right now. The political climate is crazy right now for a lot of people. It's a lot of uncertainty, whether it's from tariffs to getting rid of student loans and platforms and spaces that we're accustomed to. I mean, the world has been built on change. So it's okay. We just have to adjust and adapt. But what will not change is having a roof over your head. What will not change is knowing how to scale and grow your business. What will not change is money. And so if we don't get intelligent about finances and understanding how to build wealth in this space that we're in economically, we're going to get left behind. So there's already a train at the end of the caboose. There's a lot of our grandparents, a lot of our aunts and uncles, they're getting left behind simply because they're not adapting. So it's important for us as the youth, as the younger generation, as the children, as we teach our children and our grandchildren, as we continue to get older and our kids have kids, what financial stability truly looks like. And it's not nickel and diamond. There's too many opportunities for us to scale and grow. And because I was in a space where I was able to help, empower, teach, and change, I felt like I had to do what I'm doing right now.
Wow. That's deep. Well, I am so excited because, to be quite honest with you, I have yet to meet someone of your caliber that was so passionate about what you do, because every time I turn around, you're adding a new country, you're adding a new continent, you've made a new connection. And as quiet as kept, as as graceful as you are, I can't say that you're quiet, but as graceful as you are, you keep on adding and adding and adding and adding. And, my question to you is, where does that passion come from? Did you always have a passion for real estate, or what's going on with this world takeover?
You know what? To be honest, no, I didn't always have a passion for real estate. I had a passion for knowing more and being better for myself. It started within. My mother came to the United States when she was 24 years old. And she came here with a mission, and the goal was to change the platform of her life, what she was accustomed to, and be better and just acquire that American dream. And when she had me, she always taught me, you can be more, you can do more, you don't have to settle for less. I don't care if you're statistically, I was 19 years old, I had a child. I could have gone down a different path, but my mom always told me that, look, life doesn't end because of your choices. You are not your mistakes, and mistakes are not you. Whatever it is that you do in your life, you adapt, you adjust, and you make better of it. And so, of course, getting pregnant early wasn't a mistake for me personally. However, sometimes we get into challenges in our life where we feel like we may be stuck, but you're not a tree, you're not rooted, you can move. And so if we think like that, then we can always elevate and grow. When it comes to wanting to do more and thinking outside of the box has always been something that I've done. As you can see, I have my military picture right here. I was about 22 years old in that picture. And, I joined the Air Force. I served this country. And, that was one of the best decisions I've made in my life. I also had multiple careers in different fields. I was always somebody who wasn't afraid to take risks. the things that I've done in my life is simply demonstrated because I was not afraid. And so getting into the world of finances, I didn't come from a background in finances. I don't have any of my degrees in finances, even though I hold a couple masters, a bachelor, and then of course a doctorate. But ultimately, finances is just what we have to understand in this world if we want to be successful. And so you have to learn how to not just count money, but make money. And then of course you have to understand, how does money work and where does it really come from and how did it get into my hand, not just how much I could spend per day. And so being intelligent enough to create a space where I can be disruptive is where I kind of started and how I got into this realm that I'm in. And I love, love, love to meet people in this space, because what I've come to realize is that they're very dinosauric in their thought process. And if you
What do
are the type,
Give me an example.
yes, if you're the type of person that you'll just settle for whatever it is, you're flowing like water, that's great. However, you're not changing the course of where you can go. The water's
Mhm.
carrying you. And so when you think bigger, what can I do to help another person be successful? What can I do to make change in this space? How can I help the Hispanic community? How can I help the Middle Eastern community with the type of loan products that they need and they deserve to get ahead? How can I help the people in the Black community be successful? That's disruptive technology. If I just go like water, the water's taking me. I'm not doing anything but just joining forces with something that already exists. How can I do something that someone else is not doing? And that's why every day I wake up just creatively thinking about, how can I make change in this world? And so far, it's working.
It's been working and you've been working it. See, now you got my juices flowing because, we've been to Miami, to Vegas, to, just different areas in Dallas and, things of that nature. I know you're doing some stuff with Jill Tankard in Atlanta and Florida and Tennessee and wherever she's at, because she's everywhere.
Yeah.
I watched Benicia one night. We were at a pool party, minding our own pool party business, and there happened to be the daughter of someone that was there. And I remember just being so enamored by Benicia's ability to approach the young lady. And the first thing she hits, well, yeah, how's your name? My name is Benicia. Yeah, how you doing? Where's your money? Who are you hanging around? Like, what are you doing with your life? Like, what are your goals? What are your dreams? What are your passions? Like, okay, so when you graduate, like, what is your plan? I was like, dang, I was just sitting there. Benicia's in, like, I mean, we're not in pool attire, we're not in bikinis or anything like that. But, we were in shorts and shirts and, we were dressed down, but she was coming with business. Yeah, hi, my name is, and I was just like, you know what? How about I be like that? How about I just start approaching children and just running and gunning? And Benicia, you don't know that, but since that day, that was some years back, but since that day, I just walk up to, if I think they look young, I just, what's your name? What's your power? Like, I just hit them with
Yes.
the Benicia. And I just go up to them, and you were just so engaging to that young lady. I don't know if you remember everything about that night, but like, I just remember sitting with her, talking with her, and she opened up so much, and just the conversation got started. And of course, eventually it was like calm and fun, but Benicia hit her with that money, that business, that goal, that plan, that what's going on with your purpose. I was like, oh my God, it was so amazing, because Benicia's not going to walk up to an adult and just do, I mean, she will, but that's not her MO. But to see her do that with the youth and her light up when the youth are around was just so amazing. So I don't even know if you remember that story, but it was just so amazing. And I do that now. And I guess I'm saying that more over for those who are listening, to also take it upon yourself, because you see that 22-year-old in the background of this woman right here. That's the type of direction that she needed at that age. And she sees that and she does that. And I've had the privilege of meeting her daughter, who was about that paperwork, baby. That baby girl is going to read that receipt. She's going to make sure that the I's are dotted, the T's are crossed, and that the information is correct. And I'm just like, okay, this is kind of what they do around here. So anyway, I don't know if you remember that, but talk about your
No,
drive to give back to the next generation and such.
yeah, I definitely remember that. What's funny is that I'll walk up to adults. Like if I meet someone who's, like high profile, we're just in space together, I'm not asking them, can they give me something for nothing? I'm asking them, do you have a trust, girl? Do you own any commercial real estate? Where's your business? What can I do to help you? What can I do to serve you? I'm such a servant to the people that I care about. That's just my natural thing. But okay, give me the question one more time.
So the question, hey, Corey Hughes, hey, Dad, my dad, Hostile, Dr. Marcus Howard is here. PhD. You got to say PhD. And then Corey L. Hughes, you know that Benicia and I love you. Hi. But no, the question was more over for the next set of generation. Because I do, like I said, I've seen you engage with adults as well. I was just really excited about you doing it with the youth. But why is it so important, right, to let them know the struggle out here is different for many people. You have a lifestyle that I'm sure people admire and things of that nature. But how important is it for you to get this message across to the next generation that's coming behind us? Why do you do that? Why are you engaging with people, asking them about their finances? Like, hi, my name is Benicia, where your money? You know, like, and it's not that I'm being exaggeratory, but she literally like, hey, do you have a life insurance policy? Like, are you okay? Like, do you need something financial? Like, where does that come from?
I'm so invested in kids because, first of all, I was a latchkey kid. My mother worked crazy hours. She was a nurse. I had to let myself in. I had to do my own homework. I had to feed myself. I grew up in South Central Los Angeles, so it was already gang infested, problem infested, crime infested. That as a kid, I was almost like an adult. I had to figure out how to survive. And so I relate to a lot of the struggles that the inner city children have gone through. And I was able to pull myself up by my own bootstrings and not fall victim to the stereotypical things that happen in the environment that I could have participated in. And so for me, it's important when I see people who look like me, women, young girls who look like me, who I think could benefit from where I am and what I've seen and what I've gone through and where I am today, that it's like my duty and my responsibility to have those kind of conversations with them. Asking them, have you eaten? Is there anyone who cares about you? Do you know about real estate? Do you know about investing? I went to high schools and I implemented a scholarship where I send 2 students to real estate school every single year. And the reason why I do that is because, again, real estate is the foundation of what we need as a roof over our head. If we don't have a home, we almost can't survive. If you're living on the street, you're open to everything, right? And so my scholarship is implemented in high schools, and I picked that age because when you get to 12th grade, you're at a crossroad. Some children can't go to college because they have to go to work, and people don't remember that. Some kids don't eat because they have to give it to their brothers and sisters, and people don't think about that kind of stuff. So what is it that I can give back someone who's at a complete crossroad in their life to help implement some form of transitional stage? You can go here, you can go here. But if you take this real estate class and you learn how to at least become an agent, you can always eat, because you can find someone somewhere to rent an apartment. You can help them do that. Find someone somewhere to help them in your family, in your network. It only takes one person to change your finances. One deal can put $2,000 or $10,000 in your pocket. It could put 20,000 depending on the type of house that you sell. So because of that, that's why I always go back to the youth. Even my charitable event, my charitable foundations, they're all focused on kids and how to help them grow and scale and learn more about real estate.
Yeah, and it's funny because I forgot to mention that I also joined a back to school event that you had where you adopted an entire school. Hey, Corey, adopted an entire school. And I was like, yo, adopting a student, adopting a student is one thing, but Benicia was like, let me get to school. Let me run me to school. And, a lot of people showed up at that event, and it was so nice to see people coming off Clubhouse, people traveling, people just here in the DFW area, people showing up, that are somebody, right? Let me be very clear. These weren't just stragglers and fans. These were people that had platforms that could really support what you had going on, people coming from Atlanta and things of that nature. So when you gave back At that time, I knew for a fact that you were serious. I mean, I always knew you were serious, but I knew at that time you were serious, like getting other leaders to step up, take these reins. So talk to me about a time where it was just you by yourself and you were like, man, is anybody else, like, does anybody, do you get lonely? Like, do you get like, not now, but had you ever been like, yo, is it just me? Can y'all see? Like, are y'all blind? Do y'all want to step up? Like, talk to me about those times too.
You know what? I'm so like self-sufficient that I really don't even need a yes or no from anybody. I can create my own party. So for me, my thoughts, my ideas, what I download from God, He's giving me directly. It's not a conference call. So I'm on the main line directly to Him. He's feeding me, He's telling me what He feels, the direction I should go in, and I follow it to a T. I'm really not concerned if anybody, buys into it or not, because I know that your tribe will find you. And so my goal is just to put out there what's downloaded into me to help other people be successful, and whoever wants to take advantage of it. I don't cry anymore over people not wanting to do business, or people not choosing me, or people saying they don't believe in XYZ. That's not my person. There's options and choices for everybody. And ultimately, the right people will find you that want to do business with you, and those who you are designed to serve and complete your purpose.
No, that's a fact. Thank you for that. Yeah, because while I was like, yeah, what would it matter? And I always do this thing where I go and I just, in my mind, I just leave the stratosphere. And to be honest with you, if it's not them two children that came up out my body and gave me these here stretch marks, it's really not that big of a deal, right? But it is good when you do find your tribe. It is awesome when you do get to work with people. So when it comes to your work, pushing you, like you said, you're in all the countries, you are in the different states. I think you said every state in the United States, correct?
Yes, every single state, including New York.
So what is the prime one home like best? Okay, so we know there's real estate. We know there's funding. We know that there's, opportunities to join forces with you on creative financing. I'm gonna say that and let you speak to it. But how do we get involved? How do we do what we're supposed to do? What does our credit score need to look like? What type of money do we need to have? Because these lenders are interesting out here. And so Prime One Home Loans stands a little bit different than other lenders. So talk to us about your programs and what you have to offer.
Yes. So Prime One Home Loans was created because someone asked me would I like an opportunity to own a bank. And I was kind of like taken aback, like a bank, like why would I want to do that? I'm over here doing this. I'm not interested in that. And first of all, I don't know anything about it. And so when the guy told me doctors don't own the clinics that they work in, so you can own and operate a bank. It's the same exact concept. You hire the staff, you create the programs, you create what's going to be pushed out there to the public. And now you can serve in the capacity as someone who is at the top, at the tier, as a founder and the owner. And I said, okay, tell me more. So once I was vetted and I realized that this can be a strategic way for me to create a safe place for people who look like me, who is underserved, underfunded, undereducated, underempowered, misunderstood, and help them get into a direct pathway of ownership in some form of capacity. It was like, all right, this is a job that I have to do, right? And so I stepped into my superwoman role. I got in touch with different type of people who I know could get the job done, created a full production group who would go directly to Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, Ginnie Mae, which are the secondary market note buyers and investors. And so what they do is they allowed me to create different programs that can be put out to the masses. Within 6 months of me starting this institution, I was then appointed to the board of directors for the National Mortgage Alliance. As a member of the board of directors, I was the only Black woman that sat on the board. My sole goal was being on the board was to create programs for people of color. Now I'm in a really good position because not only do I get the ability to serve, but I get to unapologetically do Black stuff in a Black space for Black people, right? And create things that will help the masses in my community. So with that being said, being able to come into a capacity where money was not an issue, ideas were not an issue, my reach was not an issue. Now I can do as I please in this space. I'm completely disrupting because there's no one who looks like me. There's no one who talks like me. There's no one who stands like me. There's no one who can stand next to me in a room, because once I stand amongst all the other people, they don't look like me. And what's the first thing that you're going to want to do is gravitate towards someone who looks like you, who understands you, whether I'm a woman, a military member, a background or whatever, having kids, etc., being Black, whatever the case may be. And so now it's time for me to do something that's going to really make a difference. The programs that I have that I've created are something that's undeniable. I start with a 580 credit score. That helps the majority of people. If you have below a 580, then homeownership may not be in your wheelhouse right now. You got to go back and fix some stuff. But if you have a 580 and above, and you have employment, stability employment, stable jobs, not bouncing around, not going here and there. You have to have consistency for 2 years. Now I can put you in a program where if you actually have a 600 credit score, I can give you the down payment and closing costs. So you can enter into home ownership with a 580, but if you have a 600, I will give you the down payment and the closing costs. So of course, people are like, how are you doing this? Is this a grant? Are you going to take my house? What's the catch?
Yeah.
There is no catch. The catch is that other institutions can do the exact same thing, but they choose not to. These are not things that people and entities and spaces will say no to. You just have to implement them and serve in those spaces to those people who need and deserve this. And so it just speaks volumes when you know that there's certain things that you can do that other people clearly they won't do because they don't want to serve in this space. Helping investors. I have a new program that I just implemented called gap funding. Some people have heard of gap funding, but they just don't know what it is. A gap is just that, something in the middle. Just like you get gap insurance for your car, it covers anything in the middle. Gap insurance for financial purposes for investing in real estate is simply the same thing. It's going to cover what's in the middle. It's not an insurance, but what it is it's a funding platform or a funding type of loan that if you don't have the down payment, if you don't have the closing costs. So what are the majority of people in our culture missing? They're missing credit or they're missing the money. They have a bunch of ideas, but ideas can't get you a closed deal. You have to find someone who will either invest in you financially, who will invest their time so that way you can use them as leverage if you want to build, develop, use their experience that you can leverage, build or develop, or have a program that's going to help you get all those things rolled into one. So my gap funding, if you can't close your deal, I will give you the down payment and closing costs. And I've created a creative method where I'm actually rolling your down payment into your closing costs as an investor. I'm sorry, your down payment and your closing costs into the loan as an investor. And what does not exist is that program. So stuff like that comes into my mind. I don't know how I get this stuff into me. Like I said, it's downloaded from a higher power, from God. But ultimately, these are the things that I think of on a daily basis on how I can change and help more people. I have programs where if you make money by tips, so that could be a restaurant manager or something like that, or your money's under the table. You get cash, but you don't have it on papers because you get paid in cash or tips. I've created a new program where I just can call your human resources department. This has to be a real company. It can't be Side Joe picking up the phone saying, hello, I can verify him. No, it has to be a real company. But what I can do is I can call your company, verify your employment, and remove all paperwork. You don't need tax returns. You don't need any statements, just a copy of your ID and get you closed. So there are things that exist in financing that people don't even understand or think about outside of the basic traditional stuff like FHA or conventional. I'm a veteran. I do offer VA loans, investor products such as fix and flip, new construction, buying hotels. Right now, I'm doing a big deal, Virgin Hotel, that is going to be in a major city near you, $650 million deal. So there are a lot of things that I can do for people. It's just a matter of coming in and getting served.
Don't be dropping the mic today. Don't come in dropping mics, boo. No, that is amazing. I'm like, just my mouth is gapped open. This home ownership ordeal needs to be demystified. And I'm so grateful that you're offering the creative financing piece, because a lot of people don't know how to get creative. So to hear that you're creating those programs, not playing any games at all, is amazing. And that's where a lot of people trip up. Like she said, the credit as well as the finances. I'm a pause for the cause. Of course, I already know like all of this stuff, and I'm so grateful that Benicia is not only someone who does the work, she's extremely knowledgeable, and I know that God downloads directly into her because she's such a willing vessel. Like, duh. So I'm just floored at that, because yeah, we definitely need to talk offline about a couple of things. And so proud of you about the Virgin Hotel. Not going to let that roll over. I'm very excited for you. And I know you're not going to celebrate until that paperwork is closed and you cutting the tape. But nevertheless, I'm grateful to hear that you're working on such deals. I'm going to leave the floor open to other people. Do you mind people asking a couple of questions?
No, that's awesome.
Awesome. I know y'all have questions for Dr. Benicia Poole Watson, aka Dr. Lewis. I know y'all have. What is that, $1 million milk? What you drinking? I want to know. We want to do what you.
It's a smoothie.
I'm fast. I can't do anything anyway. So, but nevertheless, does anybody? I know people have questions, comments. I know you have some feedback. I know you may have a circumstance or situation that maybe you don't want to talk about here, but you want to talk about it offline, so you can shoot it to me. But either way, open up those mics and speak to this financial institution, is what it is. Speak to her directly. She's here. She showed up. She's here for the community. And I want the community to be here for her as well. Questions, comments, fire signs.
I have a question.
Please.
Can you hear me? I have a question.
Yes.
I have a question. Hi, Benicia.
Hey,
How are you?
good. How are you?
My question is, do you have your own business? How does that work? How does that work when you have your own business? You need proof of income.
Okay, so that is a great question. I love this question because I have a direct focus on helping self-employed borrowers in so many ways. So the first thing is for home ownership for your primary residence or any investment property. If you are self-employed, the one thing that you will not need to bring to the table are tax returns. That is an important piece of what self-employed borrowers don't want to do, right? Because on your taxes, you're typically writing off as much as possible everything that you're doing in your business. And what does that do to your overall income? Is it reduces your purchase power. So with that being said, if you're not bringing your tax returns, now I'm just using your bank statements to qualify you. And this is your business bank statement. And we're going to review all of your bank statements. We're going to look at your deposits of your business transactions and calculate those deposits as income. So if your business is making $10,000 a month or $100 million a month, all of those deposits are going to be calculated as qualifiable income for you to purchase. And you can actually buy up to $5 million in sales price with just your business bank statement and a copy of your ID. That is for home ownership, whether it's investment or primary residence. The second thing that I offer is business funding. So my business funding is not SBA funding. It's not rooted and connected with anyone else. This is private funding. So we have our own strategic way that we will validate and verify you. Business funding requires a 680 credit score. If you have a 680 credit score and you have at least 6 months of positive transactional business history, that means that, let's just say you own a restaurant and people are coming in and then they're buying whatever you're selling, or you own a shop that sells clothes and people are coming in and buying your product, right? Once you have your positive business transaction of money coming in, I can look at, well, I won't look at it, but the staff will look at all of those deposits, and then they will qualify you based on your history of having transactional positive cash flow into your business. And that is how you get a business term loan. That is how you get a business line of credit. So we do those literally every single day. And for a line of credit, they typically take about 3 days for you to be funded. So if you need money quick and you're in a crisis and you're like, okay, I can't pull money out of my home, that's going to take 20, 30 days. I can't do this. If I go borrow from my private equity firm, that may take so-and-so to draw it. If I pull out stocks and bonds, it may take a certain amount of time to draw that money. If you tap into your 401k, it may take a certain amount of time for that money to download. But if you do business line of credit, the typical turnaround time is 3 days. That is very, very, very quick when it comes to business line of credit. And the rates are reasonable. Also, business owners have the ability to purchase internationally. I love when a person wants to buy international real estate, either commercial or a condo somewhere in Tulum, Mexico. They go on vacation, fall in love in the Dominican, they want to purchase. If you have a business, it's so much easier for me to verify and validate your purchase. Typical turnaround time for those transactions are about 3 weeks as well, 2 to 3 weeks for anything international. But a business owner, when you have your LLC and it's making money, you have so many ways to leverage and scale and grow just based on your business. So if the business isn't making money, it's not going to be the right business to use. You want to pull from something that's actually bringing in and generating income.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Now, I have a question. So people that don't have the 580 credit score or the 600 credit score for real estate or the 680 credit score for the business side. So do you have partners? Do you have suggestions? Is there somewhere we can look on your website so we don't get scammed by the internet? Like, how do we get our credit where it needs to be?
Yeah. So in the residential department, I do have a credit specialist that is connected to the bank. So the first step is for you to do an application. You can't just call up and say, I want to talk to the credit specialist. We're not a credit company, right? So we are a financial institution. You want to come in, you want to start your loan application, and then the loan officer is going to look at your application. And if there's some ways that you can become better, or let's just say right now you're not in a position to buy, automatically you'll be referenced over to our credit specialist that's in the bank. Now, the most important piece with that is that they are going to help you get your score up in the way that a financial institution, a bank, is going to want to see your growth. Not the way it looks when you're buying a car, not the way it looks when you're just trying to do it on your own, right? You want to have guidance from a professional who knows, okay, if you pay off this particular bill and you bring your debt to income ratio to this will help qualify you for this. And the reason why is because this, and this. That's important when you're coming to buy a home, just versus you looking on your own report and then picking what you think should come off. And then it may or may not make a difference. And so on the commercial side, we also have the same almost kind of flow. It's not when you come in and you do an application, then you're referenced over. If you really need something to be changed or helped or supported, we just have a credit department that we're going to change, direct you to, not necessarily with the loan officer with the fine tooth comb. You're going to go straight over to the credit section, and then they're going to help you. And typically when people come into commercial side, they're very savvy. They're investors. They're double tiered people when it comes to real estate. They're not the first time home buyers like they are on the residential side. So it's a little bit more savvier, technical, includes some trade lines and stuff like that that people do on credit reports. But in both places, we can definitely get you help in a way that's going to help you be successful within this space.
Exactly. And not the scammy scammers on the internet talking about $25.99 and $3,500 and I'll wipe your credit. Somebody wiped my credit clean, wiped it all. The good credit and the bad. And I'm like, come on now. I had
wow.
So anyway, my point in asking that question was obviously a professional, any professional lenders, any professional realtors, anybody in the real estate game, when they're professional, they have professional services, they have professional relationships. You should not be searching and going and flipping and flopping. You should be able to come to one place, go to that one place, complete one application, let them do their job. They're in the business of making sure you get what you need, whatever you can for. But anybody else have any questions, comments? I know Deaconess Deandra, you have to go. Did you have something you wanted to say, ma'am?
Well, I have something to say, but I'm just very, I put my camera on. it's just so impressive. And then as you know, Dr. O, and I always talk about the love for the youth and the younger generation, the teenagers, and especially when it comes to like the single moms and things like that. That is like my heart's desire, just trying to you know, um, encourage them and get them on the right track. So I'm still in my growing phase of like creating a business and ministering to young women, because I feel like that is my calling, that God has put in my life because I love just talking to young women, not to just kind of like narrow it down just to black women, but it's just because I'm black and I know what the struggle is and I know what we go through. But I just want to just say congratulations to you on everything.
Thank you.
It's just so very impressive and encouraging for me. And I just thank you. I thank you. And may God bless you even more for what you're doing. And you have a genuine heart. So God
Thank
bless you and
you.
nice to meet you.
Thank you. It was good to meet you too. I appreciate that.
Thank you. Welcome.
Okay. Dan, you have something you wanted to say or ask or
You
anything?
you now you know I do. You know I do. Uh, first of all, thank you so much for coming on the show, Dr. Manisha. It is an absolute phenomenal honor to meet you, even if it is via this stream. Thank you, Dr. O, for inviting her to give the information. My wife and I, in 2004 and 2008, we owned a mortgage company, not to your level, of course, but we did own a mortgage company, did a lot of creative financing. I wish we had have crossed paths then, because we could have done a lot of great things that we were unable to do. The crash in 2008 took us out with it. But I wanted to say this, that God is definitely blessing you. He's blessing what you're doing. He is giving you the creative mind to be able to help those that he's sending. Everyone that God is sending you, you will have a solution for. He's going to quickly show you those that he's not sending you, who are coming to abuse your heart. So he just says to always listen unto him as you've been doing. Your discernment is right on target. I do have a question for you. When it comes to nonprofits, how do you assist nonprofits, or do you assist nonprofits? Because there's many of banks that, including my bank, Bank of America, that I spend a lot of money with, deposit a lot of money with, who flat out told me they won't help me with nothing. So
Mm.
I want to know what it is that you would do for a nonprofit.
Yes, you can definitely own real estate in your nonprofit. You can purchase commercial buildings in a nonprofit. You can do it just as you would do with any other entity and title it in your nonprofit. Absolutely not a problem.
So do your company, does your company handle that?
Yes, they do. Yes, we do.
Okay,
In all
that's
US
abs
states.
in all U.S. states. I love the Lord. See, I
And
believe
we'll be
in.
booking her. We'll be booking her for a couple of things coming up. Trust me.
Yeah, most definitely. We need to talk off air as well. There are some things I believe for prophetically that there are some things that God has for you that I would want to speak into your life off air. But we thank you. We thank you for being obedient to God. We thank you for being obedient to God.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, we definitely can do churches, a lot of places that people don't want to touch. I wanted to make sure that I'm a one-stop shop for all of those spaces.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to tell you that dad and mom, the church owns commercial real estate, obviously, and the building is immaculate. It's huge and ginormous, and there's just so much opportunity there. But definitely we'll talk, offline. But yeah, dad, that's the one reason why I thought that Prime One Home Loans, obviously Benicia is a representative of Prime One Home Loans, but I'm really wanting to present Prime One Home Loans. Benicia happens to be the brainchild, right? But like the company in and of itself can offer that. And that is something that I think we need to disperse out to the church. So Benicia, dad is a part of groups and groups and groups and groups of different pastors who would definitely need your assistance. So thank you for
Yes,
that, Apostle
thank
Howard.
you.
Anybody else have any questions, comments, or concerns so this beautiful woman can get out there and keep financing the world? Who else do we have on here? Because y'all know I'll start naming names. I don't know who business development is, but welcome. Thank you. LaRonda, any questions? I know you're always quiet. You want to say something in the chat and I can say it for you? You're going to come off mute. What you doing? She's so shy. Well, Dr. Benicia Poole Watson, we just thank you for your time. I definitely hit the record button, so I'll get this out to you. The goal here, I know, I'm sure we'll talk offline, but I will see you with Oprah Winfrey soon. My mother, Dr. Howard's wife, she's coming, so you'll get to meet her as well. But nevertheless, we thank you for your time, your energy. We thank you for the awesome creative programs. Every time I talk to you, there's a new program. I'm just like mind blown. So I'm grateful for you sharing that. Where can people find you so I can put in the chat, just the prime1homeloans.com?
Yes, you guys can first and foremost find me on social media. I am most often on Instagram. My webpage is my first name. So it is I am Benicia. So it's I am Benicia, Benaisha. And then also be on the lookout for the FDIC insured bank. It is coming. So that will include checking and savings. That is going to be a very, very, very big deal for us as a people. The goal is to have it right here in the state that I am in, Texas, and more importantly in Dallas. That's the area that I have all my headquarters in. So FDIC Insure for checking and savings is coming. We are also expanding our where we are today as far as what we do. So it's going to grow some legs before the year is over. You're going to hear some noise coming out about what we're doing here at Prime One Home Loans and Central One Lending, which is my commercial, residential, and international department. And then I do have a couple of books coming out and possibly my buyout. So that's going to come out, documentary. And so I'm working on that. And just thank you guys for giving me your time. Thank you for listening. Thank you for sharing space with me. And I hope that I was able to encourage someone who listened to follow your dreams, don't give up, and just stay in your moment. Just stay in your space. Don't worry about what other people are doing. Don't worry about the noise. And if you are young, or if you're old and you've made mistakes in your life, or you feel like you're not on the right path, just get reacclimated, get focused, and reclaim whatever it is that you'd like to do, and do it, because there's no one like you. I don't care how many other people may be saying the same things that you say or talk the same way you talk. They are not you. So you're able to make change in this world, and never forget that.
Aww. Okay. Thank you so much. And we appreciate you. And we're logging off now. I thank everybody for joining. See you soon.
Thank you.
Bye.